Okay, this is week 2 for Comp 2. What that means is if you missed week 1, you're already behind. So what you need to make sure that you do first is set up the N-Grade, which is my online grade book and way that you can get the worksheets and any PowerPoints. You could keep track of your grades, all the assignments, the discussions, everything are in N-Grade. There is a video that's available for you to follow that helps you set up N-Grade. Once you get the small slip that has the access codes, and you always could just ask somebody in class that's already gone through this process to help you. But there's videos for any of the makeup work from week 1 and N-Grade at this web address, which is wikis.ngrade.com bprice22. You'll have to scroll down probably to the bottom of the various videos that are there, but look for N-Grade and week 1 and that would catch you up. There have been 3 grades that were taken in week 1 and they are already listed in N-Grade. So this week in week 2, what you're working through is chapter 2. There'll be a PowerPoint that I'll go over with you. There are some questions on what the PowerPoint covers, which is the TRACE, and all of those letters stand for a different element. So we'll go over that. There's a practice sheet on sentence completion that you'll also get in class in week 2. Week 2 will also continue some of the work that happened in week 1, which is the idea of starting research and creating reference pages, certainly, but we also at the end of week 1 started brainstorming for cause-effect issues. So week 2 will continue with that. After you've brainstormed with a buddy on some of those issues, you're going to ultimately select one topic. You're going to be working with either the causes or effects, not both, just causes or effects. These topics are going to be further outlined and divided into different areas, A's, B's, C's, if you would, under outlined points. These 3 body paragraphs will have the causes or effects of your topic within them, fully elaborated. You'll be able to use research so that you're going to be able to go back into the opposing viewpoints database, which is in the ITT virtual library. Your 2 sources are minimum numbers of sources. You may use more, but all of your sources have to come from the ITT virtual library opposing viewpoints. Those of you who made the reference page last week will certainly know that that is a very easy place to find materials as well as make those reference page entries because it is a simple copy-paste. You're going to be able to paraphrase any information from the virtual library articles that help back up your points on your causes or effects from your topic. You may also use direct quotes, things that you take word for word. You're going to be able to do this at least 2 times in your small essay. The essay will, of course, completely cover APA headings, page numbers, reference pages, and again, there is a video on this APA formatting in the wikis. So always check with the wikis to see if there's information then that you can get that will help you with this assignment and in any future assignments. So as we work through this tonight, as the primary job is to get through a rough draft of these 3 body paragraphs. What that means is we're not writing a full essay, we're just writing these body paragraphs, so we're not concerning ourselves with the introductions or conclusions or anything like that. We're just starting with our brainstorming of our topic. We're going to take the one topic and brainstorm it further, so we subdivide it into some possible sentences and elaboration, some proof, support, however you want to look at that, to write 3 good body paragraphs on causes or effects from your topic, looking for at least 2 sources, making sure we have that paraphrased information in our paragraphs, and checking and making sure everything is APA. Okay, so that's basically our goals for week 2 in our Comp 1 or our Comp 2 class. So let's look at the cause-effect topics first. This is a sheet that was given last week where you had to find a buddy. It was one of the best ways to do it, but you could have done it by yourself, where you chose 10 possible topics and you brainstormed a list of some causes or effects on these topics. It didn't matter if you were positive or negative in your way that you developed those lists, but you did come up and brainstorm, at least think through generally 10 of these topics. So let's say that after you did that, you then decided that one of these topics was what was going to be of more interest to you to write these 3 body paragraphs. So we're going to take this one step at a time here at this point. We're also going to assume that lack of sleep was one of the topics that was up here. I'm going to use this as an example. So let's say that I chose lack of sleep as my topic, and I'm going to do the effects of lack of sleep. And as I thought about it, I brainstormed that lack of sleep has different effects. One of the effects is health issues could be caused by lack of sleep. Lack of sleep also impairs the person's abilities for everyday tasks. So I have that. The lack of sleep also affects a person's emotions. So those were my brainstormed areas. I may have had 4, 5, or 6 other effects, but these were then what I thought would be the absolute best effects. What I'm looking for as I get these effects is that indeed they are effects, or in some of your cases causes from the topics you chose, but you are very clearly getting broad area effects enough so that you could come up with enough information underneath each of these that would back these points up, that you would have then a complete wonderful paragraph for 1, another paragraph for 2, and another paragraph for 3. So as I have a list like this, I need to continue to brainstorm and think through what are the possible things that I could put under these broad areas that would help me as I go to write my sentences for this paragraph. So under health issues, I might think that it might affect, who knows, maybe my blood pressure, right, etc. All right. So you need to think through the specific things then that back up health issues, and I would do all of this as much as possible off the top of my head. If you want to again work with a buddy, so that you could work on each other's issues to think of what are the other possible causes and effects and the support for those things. Impairing abilities for tasks, it might be like driving a car. If you're too tired, driving your car is more difficult, or operating some kind of machinery, or working at your job. Like if you were a cashier or something like that, and you were overly tired, that would affect that. Your emotions, you could talk about how maybe you're going to get more angry when you don't have enough sleep. You might get more frustrated. And you could brainstorm as many of these possible areas as you can under each of these. Don't underestimate this process. Really, if you spend more time in this process just brainstorming, your paragraph writing is going to be a whole lot easier. Once you get a lot of these different effects or causes, and you also get the sub-reasons here, and this in essence makes it an outline. This could be a Roman numeral 1. You could have A, B, C under each. Roman numeral 2, A, B, C. You could outline it out like that. Once you brainstorm that outline, that is when you're able to then go to do some research. So as you would look for research on this particular topic, you would be able to find more information. Now you're going to be able to paraphrase information or take things that are word for word from that. So at this point, you would go to the virtual library like we talked about last time, where you get into the database of opposing viewpoints, and once you're there, you look up your particular topic and you're looking for information that will back up your outline that you make here at this point. So once you get to the opposing viewpoints section of virtual library, look up your topic, and you're looking for articles there that back up what you've already have brainstormed on your paper. When you do that, be very careful and know when you are paraphrasing information from an article. What I would like you to do in this class, especially here at the beginning of our class, is when you do borrow, steal, whatever you want to call it, information from one of those articles, begin to type that then in red. So if I get another idea here, like if I go to an article in opposing viewpoints, and because I'm looking at that article, I now get some statistics about digestive issues, something like that, because of lack of sleep, that my digestion is bad. And at that point, I get a lot of different information from that article about that. I now know that this is information that has been borrowed, if you would, from that article. Put that borrowed information in red. The reason I want you to do that is because you are going to have to cite where this information came from. And what you're going to cite is going to be put in parentheses. You're going to have the author's last name, let's say Jones in this place, in this situation. You're going to have the year that information from the reference page type stuff. You're going to know what the year is, and if there's a page number, you're going to be able to put that as well. So you're going to have that kind of information in parentheses after your stolen information. And you could do that as notes right on your outline. So this is like an elaborated outline at this point, where you could just slam these notes that you get from virtual library. Again, every time you're borrowing or stealing information, facts, statistics, other tidbits of support for your major areas, just go ahead and start going and using the red font so that you can indicate that that is stuff that you indeed need to put in a parentheses by, so that you indicate that that has come from a source. One of the other things that I would be doing at this point is making that reference page. Every time you go and decide you are indeed going to use some information from that article, do the copy paste and make a reference page, because all of the stuff that's in the parentheses will then match the reference page, and vice versa. If you put something on your reference page, you now need to use that source take some notes from that source, put the information in your own word, that's a paraphrase, but put this kind of information in the parentheses. And I'll help you more with this in week 3. But the only way we'll be able to pinpoint down where is it that you got that information. Was it from your own brain, in your own brainstorming sessions? Without looking at sources, keep that in black. If you take it from an article, put it in red, and then know where is it that article is located. You know that from your reference page, and put this information in the parentheses afterwards. So you go through one article, then another article, minimum 2 if you want to continue and look up articles, and you're only looking for information that backs up your points on your outline. So that's your task to work with.